Hello. I'm just trying to test if this live will work out, and I'm in Mindanao right now. So I'll just show you a video from last night, but this is a shorter version discussing 576A and how it affects the issue of the ABS-CBN franchise hearing. Here it goes.
Pursuant to Section 49 of the Rules of the House of Representatives, all House bills and House resolutions relative to the grant or renewal of the franchise application of ABS-CBN Corporation are hereby laid on the table. The committee secretary is hereby directed to inform all the authors of the bills and resolutions of the decision of the committee in writing.
Ang malayang pamamahayag. Tiniyak naman ng Justice and Court Reporters Association o JUCRA na hindi nito bibitawan ng laban para sa free press at mga naaapi. Idiniin naman ng National Union of Journalists of the Philippines na hindi ang kagustuhan ng Kongreso, kundi ang kagustuhan ng taong bayan ang sa huli mananaig. Ang Komisyon ng Human Rights tinitignan ang pinatay na ABS-CBN franchise na pag-aalis din sa karapatan ng publiko. Maging taga-akademya, nagpaabot rin ng pakikiisa sa ABS-CBN. Ang De La Salle University at Kolehiyo de San Juan de Letran pinailawan ng ilaw na pula, berde at asul ang kanilang gusali na kulay ng ABS-CBN. Ang mga guro ng FEU Department of Communication tiniyak ang pagsama sa mga laban para igiit ang press freedom. Ang Philippine Association...
Mas gusto ko nga na nag-hearing tayo on there para makita natin kung fair sila o may bias. Kung ang pinapalabas lang nila yung mga punto nila or pinapalabas din ba nila ang mga punto na laban sa kanila, di ba? But again, that's not for me to decide. That was my personal view that I tried to push. But again, this process will make sure that walang saling pusa, walang moro-moro sa usapan mahalaga sa bayan. Hindi po tayo pwede magmoro-moro sa issue na to. At lalong-lalong na pong hindi pwedeng walang saling pusa. Sa hearing na dadating, lahat ng gusto magsalita, gawan natin ang paraan. Kay national artist po siya or budding artist, kay isang senior legislator po o isang gusto palang tumakbo sa 2022. Kung siya po ay expert tax lawyer o siya po ay isang accountant na gusto palang mag-aral ng batas, gagawan natin ng paraan marinig ang kanilang opinion. As I have said time and time again, the hearings must be fair, impartial, comprehensive, and thorough. All voices must be heard, and all issues for and against will be discussed. As we have seen yesterday, this will require a lot of time that we do not have. And so there will be sacrifice on our part if we hope to finish this without delay.
Defend press freedom! No to shutdown! No to shutdown! Defend press freedom! Defend press freedom! No to shutdown! Defend press freedom! No to shutdown! Defend press freedom! No to shutdown! No to shutdown! Defend press freedom! Defend press freedom! No to shutdown! No to shutdown! No to shutdown! No to shutdown!
Oh, good evening sa inyo lahat. Alright. Si Atty. Ahmed, gusto daw niya fresh na fresh siya pag lumabas dito. Kaya nagsusuklay pa. Pagbigyan natin ng konting oras. At good evening muna sa inyo. Ganda yung ating intro ngayon. Kasi nakakagulat naman talaga yung mga balita ngayong araw na to, di ba? I was actually surprised when they said na tinanggal sa schedule ng Congress yung pagdinig tungkol sa tungkol sa ano tawag dito? Privilege speech ni Marcoleta. Have you watched the privilege speech? So, good evening, Van Torres. Good evening, Rocky. Okay. Kayo kasi, no, most of you did not know me way back in 2020. Look at this. Finally, na-download ko na yung aking page. I wrote this in June 5, 2020. I cannot find it anymore in my page. All right. Okay. I feel looking forward for a good discussion. Yep. And then, wait. Nasan ba si ano? I'm waiting for, who's that guy? Kokoy ba? What's his name again? That character. What's his name? Because dahil sa kanya to eh. Kaya tayo napunta dito. Kiko Abaya. Kiko Abaya, you're free to join us. Anyone actually who wants to join us tonight, I will put a link, okay? Anyone who wants to disagree or agree? All right. Okay, so there's the link. Okay, anyone? It's there. You copy that and paste that in your browser if you want to join me or join Ahmed later. And we will allow you to disagree, whatever you want to do. There he is, the man of the hour. Video please, Attorney A. Okay. Good evening ka muna. You add yourself to the stream when you're ready.
Good evening po sa inyo lahat.
Hinaan ko lang yung audio kasi mapapagalitan ako.
Hello po, good evening sa inyo lahat.
Go. Mapapagalitan na naman
Ano
ako.
nangyayari?
Yun, no?
Bakit ka papagalitan?
Hindi, kasi nag-music na naman ako eh. Nagbe-bed na naman ako. Gagalit ka pag ano, di ba?
Hindi ako magagalit.
Pati yan si Rocky eh. Sumasama pati sa ano mo, galit mo. Turn off that audio. Okay, now.
Hindi yan si Rocky kasi ano talaga yan eh. Bugnutin yan eh.
Okay.
Pinatay lang ako na ipin.
Yep. So at the time, let's just review, no? In my page, you can actually see a lot of entries also in Luminous on these dates from May 26 to July. You will see opinions from me, from Attorney Ahmed, no? Attorney Trixie, and others
May
we have carried.
pagka-propeta na to si Uncle JP eh.
Prophetic ba ang tawag dito? Prophetic.
May
O
pagka-propeta.
prophetic. Di ba? Prophetic.
Prophetic.
So, mga
Presidential decree, ayan yung mga batas o body of laws, okay, that were enacted by President Ferdinand Edrelin Marcos Sr. by himself as with the force of the legislature's power to enact laws and with the force of law until now. Wala. Kasi merong decision ng ating Supreme Court na nagsasabi na so long as those laws, yung PDs, do not violate the Constitution, do not abuse rights and impair obligations, they should be allowed to subsist. At marami pang ibang rason kung bakit nandito pa yan. Pero mainly, ang questions kasi dyan, ang attack kasi dyan ay dahil paano naging valid yan, isang tao lang ang gumawa niyan. Well, Kung isang tao lang ang gumawa niya sa panahon ng demokrasya, sa panahon ng regular working of the Democratic Republican Republic, siguro illegal yan. Pero at that time, there was martial law, and the Congress, the legislature, both houses ba? Di ba Congress lang yung inabolish niya?
Both.
Senate meron pa rin.
The entire legislature.
Both houses ba?
Mm.
Tama. And then I put up assembly and national assembly. Yeah.
Later,
So wala nang
1979.
legislature, all powers consolidated in him. So siya lang din ang so valid pa rin yun dahil at that time there was no representative and Republican Democratic state. There was some state in martial law. So valid pa rin daw yun sabi ng Supreme Court, which I agree. For most of the PDs, I agree that they should subsist. Kaysa naman gumawa na naman uli ng batas similar na ganon din ang effect. I-maintain na lang yun sila. Okay.
And then,
Ladies and gentlemen, PD 576A.
magsimula muna tayo sa 576 para medyo maganda yung intro, no? So what does 576 contain? Okay, 576 creates or authorizes the operation of private groups to regulate the content in broadcast and in print. Okay? So what are these groups? Okay, first, whereas certain conditions existed in the country at the time of the promulgation of Proclamation 1081, this is the proclamation of martial law, which had necessitated the temporary government control and supervision of mass media, which is, as we have discussed, contrary to the principles of freedom of the press. You know? And since the abolition of the Mass Media Council, ito yung nag-control nun. And the creation instead of the Media Advisory Council, various sectors of mass media have shown capability for self-regulation and internal discipline. What are you doing? What are you looking for with your glasses? Okay? Whereas the prevailing national situation has become appropriate for taking further steps towards removal of government participation in policy determination and news dissemination activities of mass media. Di ba nakikita nyo? No? Yung sinasabi nilang the entire martial law years was repressed yung buong media. Inaamin that there was a need. Pangalawa, in 2 years' time, tinanggal. Okay? So I, Ferdinand Marcos, President of the Philippines, by powers vested in me by the Constitution to hereby declare. So ang ginawa dito is, una, print media and broadcast media. For this purpose, this is of this decree. Mass media shall be divided into two groups, print media and broadcast media. Print media includes all newspapers, periodicals, magazines, journals, publications, and advertising therein, and billboards, neon signs, and the like. And broadcast media includes radio and television broadcasting in all their aspects and all cinematographic or radio promotions and advertising. Print media and broadcast media groups are hereby authorized to organize and determine the composition of a body or council within each group, which shall be responsible for instituting and formulating systems of self-regulation and internal discipline within its own ranks. So the important aspect here is self-regulation. And here it says there, its regulatory council or body shall be responsible for the evaluation of the ethics and standards of excellence of mass media in all its phases within its group. Okay. This is as far as anong tawag nito? This is as far as content regulation is concerned. Now here, section 4. No mass media activity shall be undertaken by any person or entity in the Philippines without first being registered with the regulatory council or body concerned. Take note, huh? Which shall issue certificates of registration on all applicants qualified under its respective rules and regulations, provided that each council shall have the authority to suspend or cancel such certificates of registration for such cause or causes which as may be provided in the rules, and the existence of which each council or body shall have duly determined, provided further that no certificate of registration shall be granted in any manner under any condition to any of those engaged in mass media which were, in September 1972, ordered closed and or sequestered upon promulgation of 1081 by the order of the President or Secretary of National Defense. And who is he referring to again? Sino nakakaalala? Sino tong sequestered?
Nagputol po kasi,
Nagputol-putol ba ako?
nagputol-putol yung aking hindi kita naintindihan.
Okay. So now, did you, was my,
Nag-pause ka
was
na
my,
naman.
okay, was my, is
Ako
my
nga
audio
ang
clear with
ako
you?
nga nagpuputol-putol. Okay lang, nakikinig na ako dito.
Okay. What are these councils? Okay. For broadcast, it is the KBP. Alright? And then, okay, nagtatanong ka, what councils are is this recognizing? Okay. For broadcast, it is the KBP. And for the print, it is the, I think the National Union of Journalists
National
of the
Press Club.
Philippines and the National Press Club. Dalawa kasi yan sila eh. They ended up to become two in the press. Okay. That is as far as Section 3 is concerned. They are going to fix standards, promulgate rules. But Section 4, who remembers this?
Section 5.
Okay. Section 5 also says, all existing permits for the operation of mass media on the date this decree takes effect shall continue to be valid unless otherwise suspended or withdrawn for cause by the council or body concerned. Okay, who remembers who were these stations that were sequestered? No one remembers. We discussed this already, but okay, let's review. Okay. Sige, nasan na si whoever was that guy? What's that guy? There you go. Pursuant to Presidential Decree number 1081, dated September 21, 1972, and my capacity as Commander-in-Chief of all Armed Forces of the Philippines. And consonant to the instructions number 1 dated September 22, 1972, and considering that ABS-CBN Network and Associated Broadcasting Network, ABC, Channel 2 and Channel 5, whose owners, principal officers, and key personnel are engaged in subversive activities against the government, and it's duly authorized. Come on, read it. Okay? You are hereby ordered. Okay? You are hereby ordered to forthwith sequester the ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation and the TV and radio network and facilities owned and operated by the Associated Broadcasting Corporation, which include radio stations DZ, MT, DZ, TM, and DZ, WS, and sister radio stations in Davao City, Cebu City, Lubag City, and Dagupan City, as well as Channel 5 and its sister TV stations in the cities of Davao and Cebu. Hindi po kasama ang GMA, RPN, and ABC. Okay? Marcos was very specific in having these two stations sequestered. Two networks. And in PD number 576 says no mass media activity shall be undertaken by any person in or entity in the Philippines without first being registered with the regulatory council or body concerned. Okay? Provided further that no certificate of registration shall be granted in any manner or under any condition to any of those engaged in mass media which were in September 1972 ordered closed or sequestered upon promulgation of Proclamation 1081 by order of the President or the Secretary of National Defense. Why are they on the air?
Binalik.
Were this repealed? Nope, because this is still the basis for the KBP's existence. This has never been questioned nor declared by the Supreme Court
May
as
nagbalik
unlawful.
sa kanila ng kanilang
Meron akong
may
isang
nagbalik yata
stream.
sa kanila ng kanilang mga istasyon.
Iyon ay isang pamumuhunan sa crypto. Ito ay naging isang matagumpay na kwento.
Let's iban mo to si Raul
ikaw,
ng babae.
Chel Adams, you're wasting our time.
African yan,
Kaya mo lang yan siya.
troll yan.
Huwag mo yun siyang
Sige, para meron
pabayaan mo yun siya.
Hindi ko
Pabayaan mo yun
ibaba,
siya.
dyan lang yan siya.
Alright. Bakit parang tahimik kayo dyan sa sequestration na yan? Didn't you know where you're going to? Asan na ba yung matapang na kikoy? And 5768. Now, this is our topic for tonight. Alright.
Ay, maganda,
Section
maganda.
1. Sino yun? Ay, hindi pa rin. Putol. Ba yan? Yun. Okay. Section 1. No radio or television channel may obtain a franchise unless it has sufficient capital on the basis of equity for its operations for at least 1 year, including purchase of equipment. Na wala silang problema dyan. Number 2.
Financial capacity.
Number 2, sir. Ano ibig sabihin nito, sir?
Yan yung technical capacity.
Napapansin nyo merong mga bills ngayon sa Congress na sinasabi na i-require daw yung mga istasyon na may mga congressman na nagfa-file sa Congress ng bills that seek to force radio stations or TV stations to allocate 1 hour, I think. 1 hour a day for public service free
For
of charge.
public service.
Obviously, these
Dito yan
congressmen
galing.
are not reading. No, they're not reading that this law is still existing law and there's already
2
a
hours.
law that requires 2 hours. Roll! Okay. Public service refers to news, educational or cultural presentations, other programs, blah, blah, blah. Section 3. No person or corporation may own, operate, or manage more than one radio or television station in one municipality or city, nor more than 5 a.m. and 5 FM radio station, nor more than 5 television channels in the entire country. And no
15
radio
lang.
or television station shall be utilized by any single interest group to disseminate information or otherwise influence the public or the government to serve or support the ends of such group. Nasaan si Kiko? Yan, sino? Saan yung matalino na gusto makipag ano? Now, let's see.
Kiko, and
Kiko, yung matalino. Has this law been challenged in the Supreme Court? Yes, it has. But has this been declared unconstitutional, void, or anything? Nope, it hasn't.
ilang beses na ito kinontes mga 6 na yata, 7.
Maraming beses na itong kinusya. But no corporation has ever been barred from operating more than this. And
But wait.
Net.
Basahin mo muna yung punishment, yung penalty nito.
Okay.
Pagka lumampas siya.
Any person or corporation who owns more than the number of radio or television stations authorized in the preceding section shall divest itself of the excess stations or channels. Okay? Any excess shall be sold to the Bureau of Telecommunications, which is now the NTC. Okay, so there's a remedy.
Section 5.
Failure to divest is provided in the foregoing section shall, in addition to penalties provided in Section 6, subject the person or corporation guilty of such person to cancellation of the franchise of every excess station and to confiscation of the station and its facilities without compensation.
Magkaiba yan sa sequestration, confiscation yan. Magkaiba yan sila sa sequestration.
Doesn't this finish
Pwede pa
all
rin
the
mag-confiscate.
talk
Ayun.
in Congress? All of the debate, all of the all whatever. This is a law
It should.
that the NTC has not implemented.
Ever.
Mahiya ka naman. Cordoba.
Ay, na-implement nila to.
Which
Yung
one?
first at saka second sections.
Yes. Ito kasi yung laging nadadamay sa mga kaso
Financial
about
capacity.
the franchise, yes, and the requirement for franchise. Yeah, this one
Yep.
figures in the This law is always used. This was also used in the decision that was made against the ABS-CBN. Itong pinaka-latest na ABS-CBN case, this was also cited. 5768. Just tell me what to do. Tell me what to do, what you want to do.
No person or the number 3 muna saglit. Section 3. No person or corporation may own, operate, or manage more than one radio station. Okay, isang radio station or TV station in one municipality. Sa bawat municipality or city, dapat kung meron kang radio station dyan, isa lang. Either AM or FM. Alright? At saka kung meron kang TV dyan, isa lang din. Isang TV station lang din dyan. Bawat municipality or city. Tapos, no more than 5 AM and 5 FM radio station, that's 10. Okay, no more than 5 television, so that's 15 stations in the entire country. Dapat 15 stations lang. 5 of them would be AM, 5 of them would be FM, and 5 of them would be TV stations. Hindi yan pwedeng yung AM at saka FM namin, pinagsama namin cumulative. So kahit na 7 lang yung AM, 3 yung FM, at saka 5 yung TV. Hindi pwedeng 5 yung TV, 6 yung TV station, 4 yung FM stations, saka 5 yung AM. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Tigli-5 lang yan sila sa buong bansa.
No.
Pero yung pinakahuli, yan?
Which is pinakahuli, sir? Yung?
No. Sinasabi mo.
Okay, no. Ito kasi sabi ni mukhang ayaw i-recognize yung mga PD kasi Marcos. No. If you
No,
if
that's
you
not
read
the reason.
if you read the decisions in broadcast cases decided by the Supreme Court, this particular presidential decree
Upheld.
is
Upheld, yes.
always upheld as the basis for the requirement for the any entity to first get a congressional franchise before they can operate. Okay.
After the franchise, meron pang requirement doon to get
Yeah, CPC
permit
from the
from the NTC.
from the NTC. But the first step
Certificate
is the
of
franchise.
CPC
Is here. There. Okay?
naman ako.
Yan. Okay? Bakit now ba? Okay, sige. Tingnan natin ano rasyonale. Okay? Whereas the President of the Philippines is empowered under the Constitution to review and approve franchise for public utilities. Whereas it has been observed that some public utilities, especially radio and television stations, have a tendency toward monopoly in ownership and operation to such an extent that a region or section of the country may be covered by any number of such broadcast stations, all or most of which are owned, operated, or managed by one person or corporation. You see, that is a danger. Whereas radio is the chief vehicle of dissemination of information, being the source, as surveys have shown, of 86% of all information for the public, and television is becoming similarly pervasive. Now it's reversed. That 86% is now television. But still, the basis here is that broadcast is a pervasive medium, whereas the deep penetration that radio and television does make into the public consciousness gives them the responsibility of assisting the government to promote and safeguard the public welfare. Whereas on account of the limited number of frequencies available for broadcasting in the Philippines, it is necessary to regulate the ownership and operation of radio and television stations and provide measures that would enhance quality and viability in broadcasting and to help serve public interest.
Tingnan mo to.
Up.
No. Basahin natin yan.
For free TV lang po ba yung Section 3? Paano po yung ABS-CBN na may isang
Magandang tanong.
channel sa cable? Would you like to answer?
Sagot.
The difference?
You answer.
Hindi naman. Ikaw naman.
Ikaw na mag-answer niya dahil cable yan eh.
Okay, it's like this.
Hindi ko alam yung cable eh.
The difference between cable and broadcast is this. You see the same thing. It's still on your TV. But the cable broadcast, main difference is for cable you pay for it. You pay for it. And it is transmitted to you via private line which you're paying for monthly. The option to pay or not to pay is yours. But broadcast is different. Broadcast is free and it can enter any household, anywhere within its service area. So its tendency to be able to influence anyone even without any money is there.
Present.
Okay? Whereas cable, you paid for it. That's your choice whether you want to watch it or not. Diba? Para yung pinag-usapan natin before na newspapers, regulated siya, but as you go into paid magazines, hindi na masyadong regulated kasi binayaran mo na yan. And then you go into very expensive journals, scientific journals, lalo na siyang hindi masyadong regulated doon. There will be more free speech there because yan ay bayad mo na information. LT,
Okay,
sabi niya LT. You know, Sections 3 to 5.
Section 3 to 5. Yan yung binasa natin.
Kaya nga po.
Diba? Malinaw yan, di ba? Malinaw ba sa inyo yan?
Okay. So why did we watch
Nung panahon nung nire-review ng
Hearing.
Congress, yung PICBN franchise, noong 2021 ba? 2020.
2020?
Last part ng 2020, nagsisigaw na kami nito. Ito, 576A, pinagsisigaw na namin doon sa Tambayan.
Dito.
Pinagsisigaw na namin.
Okay. The truth is, at that time, okay, yung circulation ng mga information na to, yung reach, maabot na ng close to 10 million pa din, no? No? Maabot na ng close to 10 million. And when we were already beginning to shout this out, Section 576A, and Marcoleta was ready to pounce on them on this one, comes Cayetano stopping the whole hearing. Yun yung pinlay ko kanina. Sa simula, si Cayetano nagsasabi kahit sino, kahit budding lawyer na gustong magsalita, ay papayagan natin magsalita dito. Free to, ganun, open tayo, ganun. And then, di ba? May nilagay ako doon. And then, biglang pinotol. It requires so much time that we do not have. We do not want to discuss this because these are still good law. Congress doesn't want to discuss that. And there you have it. By the way, if you like this, nilagay tayo ng ating GCash. Today is August 17.
Naalala mo yun nung nagtatambayan tayo. Umabot ng 16,000. Pagkatapos pa lang ng tambayan, may 16,000 views na kami. Kaya ngayon, kung merong 1,000, masaya na kami.
Yes, and yun, alam mo yung mga content na to, pag tiningnan mo yung mga reach nito, maabot na ng 10 million. Hala. So they were already seeing that 1/10 of the population of the Philippines is already aware of our kalokohan. If they get aware about this, wala na. We will die. Not only that, marami pang iba. Yan natutuwa po kayo at gusto nyo kaming pasayahin din. Yan yung ating GCash. Sing, ano masasabi mo dito, Sing? Ba't speechless ka? May nabasa ako sa IRR about digital TV na pwedeng magdagdag ng additional channels aside sa legacy channels. Anong insight ninyo? Ikaw, Attorney, may insight ka? Wala nang insight si Attorney Amit. Umiikot-ikot siya. Okay. Let me answer you. In digital TV, this doesn't talk about channels. Okay? This talks about this doesn't talk about the subdivision of channels. Okay? In digital TV, let's say for example, you get channel 47, you have the opportunity to put there 8 different programs within channel 47. It's just like saying radio and it has a mono and stereo version. Okay? So, instead of just having a left and right, you have different channels running, and your radio or your TV now is able to distinguish the programs that you can play in each channel. There's no problem with that. You own all of those channels, fine. But you can only have one channel transmitting in each city. So, if you have one channel and you get to air 8 different programs in that channel with the digitalization. That doesn't go against this one. If you follow this, there is no conflict. That change in technology doesn't really affect or alam mo yun, invalidate the concepts here. The importance here is the opportunity for the entire broadcast industry in the country to be owned by diverse networks, so that when you have this mix of ownerships, mix of editorial decisions, you will not have any single voice telling everyone
Hegemony.
what is the issue. In the sense that you cannot
That's
raise an
hegemony.
issue, yes, an issue like the first Philippine Holdings making a deal with the BIR and silencing it, and no one can make a noise out of it. You see? Kasi if somebody else owned the networks in it can become maingay in Visayas if they catch it. But now, even in Visayas, nobody can even make an issue out of it. The issue that we raised here, because we no longer have any other voice except their voice in the entire country. Yun ang ating problema. You know that sugar thing that we talked about? Huh? The sugar thing that we talked about. Why is Mitsubiri so strong and alam mo yun, kumbaga,
Shock.
comfortable to play dumb the other day, because he knows that that was supposed to be buried like the way they buried the issue on the compromise between BIR and the First Philippine Holdings. How? Didn't you notice that only Pangilinan Group news agencies carried it? No one else, even Rappler, has no mention of those issues in April of 2022. Rappler has everything there. Meron nga sila. So when Rappler carries it and the others don't, that means it's a good for Lopez news. And when the Pangilinan Group does it too and they don't carry it, so where is GMA's walang kinikilingan, walang pinoprotektahan stance here? I don't know. Because when Pangilinan does it, they go silent. When Lopez does it, they also go silent.
Tayo,
Parang kami,
hindi tayo
silent.
hindi tayo nagsasilent. Kaso lang, 10
Wala
na
tayo.
nakikinig sa atin.
Oh, yan. You only have a few people listening to us because, yun, walang mga istasyon na iba ang may-ari. Yan ang problema. Lahat kinikilingan. Kring-king lang.
Lahat pinoprotektahan.
Yan Yun, good evening from Cebu. Kayo ba sa Cebu? May natira pa ba kayo dyan na network na sa inyo? Di ba? Anong network ang taga Cebu? Yung nag-iisang istasyon ni Serge Rimonde, buhay pa ba? Yung DY what? DY hindi ko maalala. Di ba? Ino-operate pa ba siya ni his beautiful wife? Sino pa? DY, the SVDs, they own. And other than those two, sino na may-ari dyan? Lahat. Puro ng mga national networks. Yun, no? Magkakabakas yung mga yan. Kaya nga, paano mo ibabakas kung maraming may-ari? Di ba? All of them will be you cannot be able to control if there's so many owners all over the country with balance. Ito yung tinatawag na balance of power sa geopolitics. Balance of power, which we don't have. And because of that, you also have an issue here of regulatory capture. No? Regulatory capture ng ating kalang-kalang na NTC. Kaya you never see me parang alam mo yun, clapping hands when NTC says, titignan natin yung violation ng ABS-CBN. Violation nyo kaya, sir? Bakit hindi nyo ito pinapa-implement? Sino bang nagpagawa? Sino nga bang gumawa nito? Di ba yung tatay ng presidente natin ngayon? Hindi kaya ito nakakahiya sa presidente na yung batas na ginawa ng kanyang ama ay hindi ini-implement ng kanyang commissioner ng National Telecommunications Commission. Regulatory
Yan yung may
capture.
regulatory capture na basahin nyo.
Yan o, ang bait naman natin. Alright, matagal na, opo, pero meron siyang istasyon hanggang ngayon at nagbo-broadcast pa. Yun. Pero himala kung independent pa rin yan. Yes. I don't remember the name of his wife. She's my friend. The wife of Sir
Marites.
Marit. Yep. Marit. How is Marit? She's a very nice person. Yun. And even Serge was a nice person. He was a small-time owner of a broadcast facility. One single station. The problem is, who will control social media? Like fact-checking. It's maybe you're challenging Bongbong Marcos to actually yes, because his father failed to include social media, no, because obviously his father was not like me, who's a prophet, no, who can see the future. His father only saw broadcast and print. He was just a normal person, not like me. Anyway, just like this, Bongbong can actually amend this to include a social media council or something like that. Di ba? Pwede yun. You know.
Yun nga yung sinabi ni ni Attorney Trixie nung simula.
Wapo.
Kaso lang ang daming umapila.
Wapo. DYLA. Yes, it's called DYLA. Tama. Yeah, I know. Will control social media. Di po niyo nabasa ang first statement po. Which is first statement? Ano yung statement?
Sino ang kokontrol ng social media?
Nabasa ko nga. Sabi mo.
Ang kokontrol ng social media ay ang may-ari ng platform. Yun. Wala nang iba. Yun lang.
That will fall here. Self-regulation. Where is that? Okay, whereas, okay. Mass media have shown capability for self-regulation and internal discipline within the ranks, and have demonstrated responsibility for maintaining standards for professional conduct and excellence. I think that covers it. No? Huh? Yan yung
Ano
sinasabi
kasi
nito.
yan eh. Ang ano kasi niyan is this law initially covers free to air. Yung social media, unless there is a free to air bandwidth sa digital TV and radio, ay hindi yan papasok squarely dito sa batas na to dahil that's privately owned facilities like yung server, yung mga ano ba tawag dyan? Mainframe computers, mga ganyan. Halimbawa, yung Facebook, sila yung nagpapatakbo niyan eh. They don't share that with anyone. They don't give franchise for operators here in the Philippines. Everywhere there is, they are operated by Facebook only.
Ayun yun. Tama naman siya. Tama naman si Try 123. No? Today, people are shying away from mainstream media and TV. Yes. And your concern is who will
regulate.
Who will regulate yun? Okay, yun yung
Okay.
yun yung ano.
That is assuming that that question is assuming, including the first statement, assumes that it is a good thing that we shy away from broadcast media because it is not. It is not a good thing that we shy away from free-to-air broadcast media. It's wrong. We should be going back to those media. But since there is hegemony there, now the only way for us to freely speak and express is nowhere than social media, which is even more restrictive. And now that the pluralist elitists people are also clamping down on us on social media, all that is left for us is to fight back. Yan yun.
May imprisonment pala to. Pag hindi sumunod.
Meron nga. Kaya nga, di ba? Sabi ko sa iyo, basahin mo muna ang penalties.
Hala! And yung foreign ownership and foreign capital is very destructive sa ating industriya ng broadcast. It's not a simple question of alam mo yun, just disregarding yung constitutional prohibition. No. Those as Marcoleta correctly said in his privileged speech, at pinasok mo sa loob ng 10 minutes na binigay ng speaker, di ba? That brazen move using PDRs to alam mo yun, trample with that constitutional prohibition, hindi yan dapat i-tolerate. Okay? And Marcoleta is on the right track. We should support him. In fact, we should help him get the right acquisition. Sino pa sinasabi mo, Tatiana, na nasabihan ng mag-aral ka tuloy?
Si Terry Ridon.
Ito, Typhoon Odette. Ay, gusto nyo itong Typhoon. Ito yung gawin natin ending. Ha? Sige. Kasi medyo gabi na tayo. Tama na tayo sa 2 hours. Panoorin nyo ito. I will check the video. I think this is the one. So good night na sa inyo. And sana ah, yung mga natutuwa sa amin pinagagagawa ngayon ay yan, no, nakikita niyo yung ating Gcash
Meron
number.
na naman troll, no? May troll na naman. No?
Saan yan?
Yan mo lang.
O yan, yung troll na yan, ito na lang panoorin mo, troll. So, our Gcash numbers there. Thank you and good night. Sana marami ka natutunan. And this is Zarate's closing speech in Congress. Panoorin po ninyo, napakaganda po ni Zarate dito. At binara natin siya point by point.
Tayo asingko po ng kasalukuyang taon nang biglang pinatigil ng National Telecommunications Commission ang pagbo-broadcast ng ABS-CBN. Makaraan ang 10 araw, dumating sa ating kapuluan ang Bagyong Ambo. Sinabi po ni Leo Gipalaga ng RTC Samar na ginutay-gutay ng bagyo. Ito po ang kanyang tinuran. Kayo pa lamang ABS-CBN ang nakarating dito na media. Kahit anong media, wala pang nakapunta dito.
Ito nga, nakakalungkot dahil ngayon naggrabing paghahanda namin, grabing namin sa COVID, sa COVID crisis para ito.
Naglandfall ang Bagyo Ambo habungtuhan San Policarpo din sa Eastern Samar. Anginahan alas 12 kihan udto. Bayulente nga uuran ngan makusog nga hangin andarahan ay wall han makaigo inihan tuna. Ha mga bungtuhan nga partihan Eastern Samar, temprano pa han aga han mahireport nira an makusog nga hangin ngan uuran. Habungtuhan oras, igin pahayag ni Mayor Vivian Alvarez nga temprano pa niya iginmando an evacuation. Labinahan mga residentes nga nangungukoy ang mga lugar, haranihin mga dagat ngan salog. Ditohin mga barangays nga barahaon, sugad man ang mga mulupyo nga nangungukoy ditohin mga balay nga himulahin mga light materials. Igindoon pa ni Mayor Alvarez nga may ada na manira food assistance parahan mga tao nga ikakadtuhan mga evacuation centers. Habot nga hini, ginsisiguro nira nga mababantayan iton mga camp areas para naman masunod iton mga protocol nga iginpapasunod iton Department of Health.
Ang kwentong ito ay nauulit hindi lamang 10, hindi lamang 100 o 1,000 beses.
They have
Sa loob po
stations,
ng mahigit na 60 taon, andun na ang ABS-CBN sa lahat ng kalamidad. Sila ay naghahatid ng balita, nangunguna magbigay ng relief and rehabilitation. Ginagamit ang media para makapangalap ng donasyon para sa mas mabilis na pagbangon ng ating mga kababayang nasalanta.
Donasyon! Yun ang kwentong bagyo, kwentong ABS-CBN na wala daw ibang media. Samantala ngayon, meron local media.